it seems the people up the top of this video have got a lot to say. Roger Cook, Dr. Rich, and Mr. Flint, the idiot from the Sunday Times who couldn't tell the truth if he knew it and fell over it. Well, you know, you talk about me being a sovereign citizen. I'm not. I am a lawfully sworn officer of the Crown. What does that make me? Oh, a subject of the reigning monarch. So you lied about that. But you lie about a lot of things because, it's all about sensationalism. I just watched a video from Roger Cook. You're a brain-dead, moronic halfwit. Wasn't it you and Mark McGowan concocted the Acts Amendment Repeals Court and Legal Practice Act, took the Crown out of our law? You broke the law. You committed blatant treason. Section 8 removed all reference to the Crown out of our state laws. You break the law. And you're talking about, we've got a weird idea about the law or we deliberately break it. No, Roger Cook, you're a union thug and nothing more. You've never been anything more than a union thug. And the brain-dead clown that works for the Sunday Times made statements about me. You're a liar. You twist it and bent it and mess with it to try and make out, this wonderful person you are. Not. This is the Constitution Act for Western Australia was put in place with 32 sections missing. I'm not interested what you think, Cook, because you know nothing about the law. So let's have a look at what happened because of those removals from that. You added local government. It's number 88 of 1979, an Act of Parliament. A system of government not known to the Constitution in relation to controlling people's land and everything else. But you lied about that. You now have changed the titles of land, you and Mark McGowan. Look at how smart Mark McGowan is. He translated English to English. Aren't you so smart? You brilliant, brain-dead idiot. And Dr. Rich, you study a phenomenon of so-called sovereign citizens. See this? That's the lawful constitution of Western Australia. Have you ever seen it, Roger Cook? You talk about the law. This is a letters patent, cannot be changed. Why haven't you complied with this? Because you're a low-down, lying, thieving union thug. And this is the Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900 UK, the enabling act which enabled us to have a constitution. So we got one. And the 9 clauses. And then you've got Anne Toomey running around giving her version of what the Constitution says in direct contravention of these 2 acts. And you, Roger Cook, are in the same position. But what you don't understand, Roger Cook, when you lie, and that's what you're doing, lying, things come about and catch brain-dead little maggot with no guts at all, and just a big mouth, and hang around with a bunch of noodle brains. But guess what? All of you, including the professor, have all heard about the pedophiles being protected by a purported law made by the federal government who has no power to make laws. They're in the same boat as you. They don't exist until every single state act has been put back in together. State act being the state constitution, put in place with a letters patent by Queen Victoria on the 29th of October 1900. You actually think that you can get away with lying about people. What I said about Desi Freeman, for instance, I'll come to that because you've already commented about you brain-dead moron. You said in the Sunday Times that I said they ran away like gutless mongrel dogs. Look at the video. Look at all the videos that came out. That's what I was referring to. If 10 cops went to get Desi Freeman and he shot Two of them, as you allege, and a third one he wounded. So there was three he's alleged to have shot. Alleged, because it's never been proven, and probably won't, because some idiot has knocked him off or done something stupid. If they did not turn that bus or wherever he was into a Swiss cheese by drilling it full of holes with their guns, they must have turned away and ran. You get the picture in your pea brain, or can't you comprehend what I'm saying, Roger Cook, and you other two clowns? You said, I threatened him. I said, no, there's a authority which is going to get you. Not in those exact words, but I didn't actually threaten with actual people to come and threaten you. I didn't need to, nor do I. I was referring to God is going to get you, you lying little treasonous satanic maggot. You are going to get what's coming to you. You think you're above the law. You're not. You think we disobey the law, the people disobey the law. No, we're not. Where are Desi's videos? Oh, they probably took them down, more than likely, because they don't want to see that he actually arrested, common law arrest on the Maggot Strait in Victoria. A common law arrest he had every right to. Did the cops assist him? No, because they were lazy, bludgeoning slack-offs. The whole four of them. They ignored the law. You have a common law right of arrest. That magistrate was ordered by another magistrate not to go into the court, not to hear this case, but he did. Desi knew he was lying, and you're telling me to F off. You're a brain-dead moron, Aldo. Why would you say that? Anyway, thank you for your little suggestion, but I'm not going to follow it. I'm not going to F off. Now, you are not realising what they're doing to this country. They're systematically taking your rights. And you're going to be abundantly happy under the system set up by the Labor Party. What do they want to do? They want to take every single thing you got, put you in little flats, that's if you're chosen ones to live, because they poisoned half of them already. They already have. And they're dying because of the result of the jabby jab. But you didn't do that, did you? But your commissioner pushed it into the face of everybody as the minister for the jabby jab. But you're not going to say anything about that. But, you see, when the federal parliament stopped anybody talking about pedophilia, you're concealing it. When you conceal an indictable offence, you see, I know what I'm talking about when I said I'm a Commonwealth public official because I was lawfully sworn and proved it to the court here. And what did the Department of Public Peanuts do? Withdrew the purported charge against me, which wasn't even laid. They wouldn't go to a jury of 23 people on a voir dire. You know what a voir dire is, Roger? I'm sorry, it's probably a little bit out of the reach of your pea brain. It's a case and a case to hear a point of law. You know what it was going to determine? Whether purported state constitution with 32 sections missing was the lawful one, or this one, which is a letters patent in its complete form, is the correct one. But you didn't want that, nor did the Department of Public Peanuts. They didn't want it. They didn't want it because they didn't want to comply with the law. The very thing you're accusing us of. The very thing you're accusing us of. So every single cop, every single politician, every single judge, every single magistrate, every single lawyer, every single council worker that sits and exercises authority and does not bother to do something about the pedophiles even sitting in our parliament, and some of them are. That's why they're concealing, and that's what you're helping them do. And it's no good going back to Mark McGowan. He's probably out there teaching, translating English into English for the Aboriginal population because somehow he doesn't think they've got the capability of doing it. How brain dead is that maggot? And you actually have the audacity to come on here and say we don't know what we're talking about? No, you're a liar. You see, I was awarded the OWB, which is for my research in the common law heritage of this country and the Constitution. I've studied it for better than 56 years. Do I know what it says? The majority, yes. Am I still learning? In a lot of areas, yes. But I'm not learning with the bigotry that comes out of political parties and lying politicians like you, dodgy Roger Cook. You spent your whole life bludging, living off the earnings of others. You're not a male prostitute, nobody would want you. But you lived off the earnings of others through the unions which paid money for clowns like you to exist. And same as, oh, look at that. Shark crap was in the Navy as a lawyer. What'd they do when he was leaving? Gave him a can of dog food. What'd they think of him? Obviously, what they thought of him. You see, you can denigrate anybody, but you can't take it when it gets chucked back in your face. So, doctor, whatever you want to call yourself, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say about me. I just come on here to let you know you're a moron. You are studying, you got this big group studying sovereign citizens, and you got the sovereign citizens right in front of you. All your friends, all the politicians, you are the sovereign citizens. You follow the political parties. Your allegiance is to a foreign entity. You are not a lawful government, nor can you ever be. You can say you were voted in. No, you weren't. You were lied. You were put in under fraudulent documents. How do I know? It says so in this Constitution. It says you were elected on fraudulent documents because it tells you the correct way you can be sworn in. But you don't know that because you haven't got the brains to work it out. You have the audacity to come on here and mouth off, and idiots come on, oh, you're doing a wonderful job, Mr. Crook. Crook you are, misleading, deceptive, lying maggot you are, and you're a citizen of the one world government through your communist, socialist garbage you call the Labour Party. So you're a sovereign citizen. Are you going to get into him, doctor? Whatever you want to call yourself? Of course you're not. You're going to try and scare people like me. Well, Justice Jenkins in the Supreme Court of Western Australia in 2010 said there's no lawful entities as the WA Police. He ruled it. Why? Because they're not under that Act. Because that Act ceased to exist on the proclamation of the Constitution. The Constitution says so. Get that, Dr. Crook. Idiot. Moron. Brain dead clown. You want to say something? Oh, and look at that. The Criminal Investigation of Western Australia Act. It's a Criminal Investigation Act of Western Australia. It states Section 41, subsection 1. Only a police officer or a public officer can issue a warrant under this section. What I said to the magistrate is, in front of the police, Sydney City Council versus Reid, Justice Kirby ruled the CDPP are public officers, and as such are creatures of statute. Can you digest that in your pea brain, Roger Cook? Public officers are creatures of statute, and they can never, ever be officers of the Crown. Now, if you bump into, push or hinder or annoy a cop, you're charged with assaulting a public officer. So, your Criminal Investigation Act says police officers or public officers. Two individual people. Have you got that clear in your pea brain? So you're talking about this lovely Commissioner of Police who hasn't sworn the oath of allegiance contained in our Constitution and exercises authority throughout the Commonwealth, and he's not an officer of the Crown. Nor are you an officer of the Crown. The state is created under 106, 107, 108 and 109 draws its authority referentially from this Constitution. Meaning every senator and every member of the House of Representatives must swear the oath in the Constitution before they swear their oath of office. What does that mean to the state when it's created by the Constitution? Never existed before. I know your little buddy McGinty tried to put that to the High Court and they rejected it because it's lies and fraud and blatant treason. They just didn't charge the maggot like they should have. Or you, like they should have. Now, get back to the truth of the matter. I said in the magistrate's court, if I walk over and thump this cop, you're going to charge me with assaulting a public officer. And the magistrate said, yes, of course I will. And the cop said, I will too. Guess what? They admitted to be public officers. Police officer or public officer. My argument then was, what are they doing in our court in a police uniform with a crown on it, saying they are police when they're not? The big problem is you people are liars. You are scared of this Constitution because no matter what you do, the police won't remove it, the public won't remove it. They don't want to. Why? Because they don't trust you lying, thieving maggots. Now you've got the opposition in England. Albanese sleazed up to him and he doesn't want anything to do with him. And Albanese says he's not a very nice person, but he says Albanese is a moron. And he got that right. 100% correct. Another Labor Party. What does the Labor Party want to do? Turn this into a socialist dictatorship. You think you've got there? No, you haven't. There are no laws until every single state in this country puts its constitution back in place. The state constitution in its original form, because they let us patent. So when you don't abide by them, dodgy Roger, you little creep, you are not the Premier of this state. You are just a treasonous little maggot with no guts whatsoever. That's your problem. Do I know what I'm talking about? Well, obviously I did enough to get awarded the OWB for my research in the common law and our Constitution. So obviously I've got some. What did you ever achieve? How much did you pay someone to write a document saying you actually got an education of some kind? Or did you ever get one? You certainly have not absorbed enough to stand up and tell the truth in front of the public. Oh, you've got sore eyes, you sick little maggot. And your ex-boss, he's still out there translating English into English. What a pack of morons. And you reckon we have got problems with the law. I've got no problem with the law. I spent 17 years upholding it. Now I've got to look at pieces of paper people show me where some moronic maggot who knows nothing about the law says I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't got this problem, I got that. I've only got one problem in this country. Every stinking politician serves their political parties and not the people. That's the problem I have. You serve your political parties. You are sovereign to those parties in your own mind. Are you citizens? Yes. Through your beliefs, your stinking socialist, communist, crap beliefs, you are citizens of the one world government through the United Nations, which you serve. And you're using the police as thugs to serve them. Are they thugs? Look at what they did in Victoria. Oh, look, some police got shot. Boo-hoo. Nobody should take another person's life. Fact. Do I agree with what they did? Absolutely not. Don't ever say I did. Because if I see you in the street face to face, you're going to get a knuckle sandwich. I can't stand you, you grimy little maggot. You are not serving us, the people, because you are not following our will. Now look at what you filthy, thieving thugs under a Labor government in Victoria did. People were peacefully protesting. Could they? Yes. Supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority remains with the people. A fact of law, one you don't want to admit to, don't want to know anything about, do you, you grimy little flea? Nor does that professor, oh look, I'm researching sovereign citizens. Just stick a mirror on your cupboard, sit there, act dumb, drink yourself stupid, and look at your own picture, because you're one. You're sucked up into a treasonous, corrupt system that does not serve the people. You have the problem, we do not. Just because we stand up for what we believe in doesn't mean we're criminals, doesn't mean we're going to shoot people. And when you are faced with it in a suburb of Perth, you knew the clown had a gun, type in your computer would have told you, and you did nothing and you ended up killing somebody. What did you do about that? 3/5 of nothing. She's dead. He's going to jail. Big deal. But in Victoria, these people were exercising their lawful right as supreme, absolute and uncontrollable people in this country to protest if they want to. And what are the slimy grubs and maggots from Victoria, including the so-called police? They picked up firearms and blasted the daylights out of them with rubber bullets, which are approximately 3 or 4 inches long. They hurt. If they go in their eye, they could penetrate the eye and kill somebody. Not a problem. Did they hurt? They hurt a lot of people. And you think that was okay, Dodgy Roger, because look at this, I'm exercising the law. It's not law to shoot the people in this country. If it is, you show me in here where it says you can. Because page 795, that's chapter 3, section 76, page 795, the 4th paragraph, that says, if you exercise authority throughout the Commonwealth, you are required, Dodgy Roger, to state where in the Constitution your authority comes from. So I'm asking you, and in fact I demand, because you say you represent the state, you show where in the Constitution you get the authority to have political parties ignore the Constitution, change the status of this country against the will of the people. We ruled in 1999. We didn't want to remove the Crown. This is the Crown's authority. Who told you could remove it? And yet you did. In this, which is where you had a local government in 1979, the unlawful one, not the lawful one, so that it doesn't exist. That's why you didn't want it before a grand jury. That's why you blocked it going there. That's why you didn't want to fly there, because you not only don't understand it, except the fact that the Department of Public Peanuts does, and knew what was happening. What's wrong with the Department of Public Peanuts? They're required to be officers of the Crown. Every single one of you. Can you remove it? No. Now, Dodgy Roger, another question. What is the entity known as a state? Where in the Constitution does it come from? The one you created and removed the Crown without our permission. Where is the Australia Act? In here. In here. Where is it? Answer the question or get the hell out of our parliament, you slimy, grimy little maggot. You don't like me talking to you like that. Don't call me a sovereign citizen. That's worse than me calling you the names I'm calling you. That's an insult. And that reporter, you're an absolute maggot. I stopped a guy harassing a reporter from The Guardian at the rally in Geraldton. I told him to bugger off and leave him alone. I had to saw back. I could have got hurt if he pushed me over, but he didn't. He used his brain and walked away, as he should. Not the reporter's fault. If the reporter reported garbage, then he is a moron. It's on his head. Nobody will think him of a human. Yeah, no state can raise an army. That's how it says. But they did raise an army and they did shoot people in Victoria. And you said now you think we shouldn't have guns because you think we're sovereign citizens and you can't even spell your own name. You're so stupid you can't. And I am not a sovereign citizen. You are a liar. I'm a subject of the reigning monarch. I'm a child of Almighty God. Neither of those you can change.
Amen.
Whether you like it or not. Oh, you shouldn't do that. A Christian shouldn't denigrate somebody. Well, I'm not denigrating you. I'm looking at what you said and stating the fact that you're a moron to say it. Am I able to say that? Quite able to say it. Quite able. And that's what I'm referring. You think you're free. You're going to hell on a rowboat, maggot, and you're going to bake. Only you're the bit of meat going to get baked. Wake up. That's what I'm trying to do. Wake you up. Time for you to shut up and correct the problems you've got. First, get out of our parliament because you've got no right to be there. If you have, you show me in this constitution where your authority comes from, because if it doesn't come from this act, it does not exist in law. Does not. What says so? Commonwealth Constitution Act, Imperial Law. The question is, where is Andrews now? He's in China. He's over there hiding because he comes back here, he'll get done for running down that young bloke. Accidentally or not, he should post up. But the problem with Andrews, because I'm answering somebody who's asked the question, is he is a lying, ignorant little maggot. If he had any guts, the police would have left alone Desi Freeman and let Andrews stand trial, which he should. But you didn't want that. You created the situation. I'm not saying he didn't shoot those cops. I'm saying, and I repeat it, if there were 10 cops there, 3 got shot, and the others had to have run away, I would have turned it into a sieve, like Swiss cheese, where he was. He would not have got away. But you are gutless mongrel dogs who actually run away. Otherwise, explain to me where you were. Where were your body cams? Where was all the evidence for what took place there? Oh, you've got 5 or 6 different stories. How many more are you going to have before you come up and tell the truth? You're not going to tell the truth. Why? You need to go in your bathroom, drop your pants and see if you've got what it takes to be a man, because you sure as heck aren't showing it. I don't want to see your genitals, given the fact that you're protecting pedophiles with your non-action in relation to the pedophiles in this country. And you are a pedophile under the Commonwealth Criminal Code because you're in a position to do something about it, and you are doing nothing. That is law. I'm talking about real law, not just political parties claptrap, which is all you're talking about. You're a spineless little maggot. So sleep on it, moron, and see if you can come up with something intelligent to say other than the dribble that poured out of your mouth tonight. Thank you.